So as you can see from the beginning shot, let me actually back up here so you can see it. This is where the door is, well, behind us, and throughout the room, except for this wall, we have a lot of blankets, and this is mainly to soundproof the room, to make it a little bit easier. Just one sec. Turn down the music a little bit more. Don't get DMCA'd. I know that's a big thing now, but yeah. So the blankets are mainly here to soundproof everything because I have people in the room right next door, and yeah, overall I don't want to hear any more complaints. So that's the reasoning for this. One little modification we did, if you were to roll this up, like so, then you can easily walk behind there. We made a little bracket, or you can say one of the closet shelves, so that we could, you know, store it up there and you can easily walk in and out. But right now I have it down just to show you guys. On this wall we got hats, and I'm gonna come back to this wall because I'll give you a little sneak peek. There's a little cool thing there, so I'm gonna save that for last. Alright, so after coming in, we got Mr. Hendrix. Gotta have Mr. Hendrix. Very inspirational for a lot of the reason why I play guitar and stuff like that. If we go down, we got my first ever skateboard, and I kept this even though it is snapped in the middle. We did end up snapping it, myself and my friend Peter, but mainly kept it because that was the main start of me being what I like to call different. And what I mean by different from the norm of what people around me did, as far as, you know, just trying to fit in with like different popular groups. I don't know how to explain it that much, but that really was like the beginning of me being more creative, whether it's the types of tricks I learn or the type of videos I make and all that good stuff. So very important to me. If we go up a little bit along the wall, we got the first wheel that I got was my whole sim rig, and that's the Thrustmaster Ferrari collaboration wheel. I want to say it's like a, I don't know what you call this wheel, to be honest with you. I'm not too knowledgeable on, you know, GT races, or, you know, I'm just getting into F1. I know that's not an F1 wheel, but just getting into that, and that is so much fun to watch. And very happy that Roman Grosjean, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but very happy he's doing well. He's safe, because that was a horrific crash, and we watched that and we're just mind blown that he was able to make it out of that. Shout out the Halo system that they got. Yeah, so underneath that we got the couch, which I'll show you later is positioned towards the TV, and behind the couch we have a nice little subwoofer. It's part of the whole Vizio soundbar system that we got. Below that, got my little bed for my dog, so he could be nice and comfortable as well watching movies. Alright, so on this wall, as I mentioned before, all of these have comforters, and you can see behind here peeking is a comforter. Then over that we put the soundproof, or the acoustic panels, not soundproof, acoustic panels over top of that, just for nice aesthetics, and it goes pretty much all along that wall. Alright, so here we have pretty much a pegboard, a long pegboard that goes down with miscellaneous stuff. Starting at the top is the Quest 2, my bad. The Oculus Quest 2, pretty fun. Gets very sweaty wearing it. I'll do a whole review on that later. I'm like mixed reviewed on it so far, but you know, I don't really use it much, long story short. Below that I got the first DJI Mavic Pro. Very fun camera / drone to fly around and, you know, get some shots that otherwise you won't be able to get. And to the right of that, little Polaroid, you know, gotta get those classic shots in once in a while. On to the next shelving / pegboard. We have a very limited edition, is it David Clark? I believe it's David Clark. I may be wrong. I don't even know, to be honest with you. But my pops, he had this from back in the day, and it's aviator headset. Thought it was really cool. He even got the, you know, the whole whatever you want to call it on it. But yeah, cool little thing to have. History, so you know. Next to that, got the Xbox 360 controller. I don't have an Xbox anymore, I just use it for PC gaming. Little extra pegs. Next to that, got my GoPro camera. I don't know if you can see it that well. Maybe this will help. There we go. Yeah, and right now it's connected to a mouth mount. It's like a tongue twister, and I pretty much use that for doing sim rig recordings to get the nice first person shot. I know a lot of people use the headset or the head strap mount, but I feel like that's a little bit too high in my opinion. This is more like eye level and pretty much what I would actually see, so I kind of prefer that a little bit more. Unfortunately, of course, I can't talk, so yeah, that's the only downside. But yeah, below that, Fanatec sequential shifter. Got a couple camera lenses, 14mm wide angle. That's a manual focus lens. This is an automatic 55mm Sony, and right now on the camera that I'm using, I have the Sony kit lens. So got a whole bunch of different types of lenses for different reasons and all that good stuff. Alright, so here we have GoPro battery chargers. Yeah, a little miscellaneous stuff. Below that, little tools, just in case I don't have to keep going downstairs to go grab tools. I could just, you know, grab and go. And below that is honestly one of the coolest additions to this whole room, and you know, it's just here as a mount, but this is the honeycomb yoke for flight sim primarily. That's the main thing we use it for, and man, this thing is sick. This thing has a lot of great feedback, not only, you know, in reviews, but feedback as in like feeling when you're ascending, descending, all that good stuff. It feels great, it looks great, it has lights in it, LEDs, and yeah, overall it's really dope. And I did a little hack just in case anybody was interested, and I want to make a whole video on that as well. If you see that little white piece that's behind it, that's pretty much what do you call it, Minn Kota, I don't know how you pronounce it, but pretty much is a quick release mount that's meant for boat motors, and we took that idea and we applied it to being able to switch between the yoke and the race wheel, which you'll see later. So I thought that was a really cool addition that we did, and we can have it mounted up when we're not using it, rather than, you know, having that laying around with wires and all that good stuff. Alright, so on the ground here we got my amps that pretty much used for guitar / bass. We got Fender over here, got off my friend Kyle. PV, one of the first amps I got. Vox, the latest amp I got. And below this is actually my friend Kyle's Line 6, but that's probably my favorite amp out of all of these, to be honest. Even though Line 6 does get, like, you know, kind of a bad rap, it has so much flexibility in sound, and I really like to be able to, you know, go from metal to clean out of nowhere. The line of guitars, first up is Fender Strat. This is the Mexican, not the American. When I was listening to both, I found that the Mexican had a little bit of a warmer tone, while the American sounded kind of not like a Telecaster, but it had a little twangier flavor to it, and I wanted to go for the warm tone. I've already had, you know, my twang from my previous guitar, so I just kind of wanted to change it up. So yeah, next to that, nothing special. A Yamaha bass, and then a Yamaha acoustic guitar. The pedals that I currently own, but I don't use all the time, is Loop Station. You know, be able to make melodies and keep building on them. Wah pedal. This is the latest edition pedal, and Metalcore, which is the first pedal ever, ML2, that I got, and really cool. Go from clean, playing the intro to a kill switch engage, and then bump that on, and so yeah. Now, as you can tell, this whole music side is going with the whole music setup that's on this screen here. Let me go ahead and make the screen come back alive again for you guys. Alright, So this is the whole music side of the music slash work side, right? And yeah, so starting from the right, we got, this is another new addition, the SM7B. As you can see right there, that's a box for it. SM7B microphone. Very, very, very clean. I love this microphone, and I've only had it for like a couple weeks. Very clean. Love it, love it, love it. Next to that, or on top of that I should say, is the Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pros, 80 ohms. Nice studio headset. Got a nice neutral sound to be able to mix and master as you see fit. On the desk itself, I got my Fallen hat. Skateboard days, I love Fallen. That was one of my favorite companies. So glad that they're back all together with the original OG guys, Chris Cole, Jamie Thomas, all of them. To the left of that, this is a newest edition. There's a lot of new stuff in here, but this is the newest one. Literally bought a few days ago on Black Friday, and this is the AUD, or Universal Audio Apollo Twin Duo USB. So this is not the Thunderbolt version. This is the USB version, but this is amazing. This literally changed my life. I just uploaded a video on YouTube about this device, and definitely go check it out. I can't say much more on how amazing that is, because it's just simply a game changer. I never knew how much of a difference, the processing power in this versus the processing power in, like, well, this is the mixer, but it's also audio interface in the same token because it has a USB out. But just the comparison is just night and day, honestly. So yeah, definitely recommend that. MX Master mouse, got a little Logitech keyboard, a Samsung MIDI controller. Nothing too special there. Just pretty much be able to hit notes, make melodies real quick on the fly, all that good stuff. Got a little pads, never use it. Only use the keys, and that's pretty much it. And on top of that is my LG 32-inch ultra wide. This is a bit of an older ultra wide, or one of the earlier models in general. And yeah, I mean, it does the job. It has a nice long real estate, be able to edit videos and see the whole timeline or music, and be able to see everything, have multiple different plugins up and all that good stuff, VSTs, and yeah, be able to accomplish the job pretty well. And for studio monitors themselves, I'm using JBL 8-inch. I don't remember the actual model. If you're interested, I'll find out. But yeah, these are great. I listened to these, and I listened to the HS8s from Yamaha, and to be honest, these had just a better, fuller sound than the HS8s. And I know the HS8s, they also sell a floor subwoofer along with it. I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. I wanted an all-in-one solution, and these were honestly it. And especially paired with this, it's insane. It's just absolutely insane. So highly recommend, once again. There's my wine. This is a limited edition. I'm joking. Little iPhone charger, and I got the new iPhone 12 Pro, I think it's called, not the Max. I don't know what you call it, man, but it's nice. This is the first time this is the first phone after having a home button, which was the 8 that I had previously. So being without the home button, I'm starting to get used to it. I was very hesitant on it because that button is like a night and day for me, but it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I got a Stream Deck there. Use that for multiple things. Not gonna get into that one. Little stickers here and there. You're gonna see a whole bunch more stickers very soon. Let's see. So let's go into the center of the room now, and this is where pretty much the room divides, as you can see right there. So starting here, we have a little wine cooler. Yeah. Oh god. Okay. Well, this is the wine, bottle stopper, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm an alcoholic, so you need to have a wine. No, I'm joking. I'm not an alcoholic. But yeah, wine coolers don't hurt. I'm old enough. Alright, on the desk, got my wallet, keys, basic stuff. this is the keyboard for the sim rig. As you can see, a little peek over there. This is for the Vizio. Oh, I forgot to show you the TV above this. So on top of the music side of the desk, there is a TV, and this is 49. I can't remember the size, but it's a nice size TV. Q60 by Samsung. As this is what I was talking about, the Vizio sound bar there, and the subwoofer on the bottom. On this side, I actually got another Vizio for the sim rig side. I'll get to that later. But yeah, so back to the middle of the desk, we got the MacBook Pro. You probably saw the hard drive, the other hard drive SSD. Got two of those just in case for editing and all that stuff. I mainly use this for Final Cut because obviously it's not on Windows, and the screen on here, especially for Final Cut and for like Lightroom, very nice to work off of this screen because, as I said, this was kind of like one of the first ultra wide, so the display is not like amazing. It's simply what is that? I think it's 2K. Yeah, it's like 3440 by 1440 or something like that. Something like that. No, that's 4K. No, that's 2K. Yeah, because it's wide. Yeah. All right, so yeah, so that's like 2K. This is like I don't know what this is, but this is very nice. In the middle, this was, as I mentioned before, my old mixer slash audio interface. And the best part about still having this is that, and I mentioned this in the video of the new Apollo that I got, that I can still use this and I can route the output to the mixer to be able to have more inputs, such as for the mic that I would use for the sim rig, or say a guitar amp, or say drums, and whatever the case may be. So it really just adds more availability of sound to come through. Got an old Logitech joystick. Don't really use it much, to be honest with you. It's super old and doesn't really have that much force feedback, even though right there it says force feedback. That's some bullshit. Logitech, or one of two Logitech webcams. This would be for the wheel view that you may see on a stream or two. This is the computer that's powering the whole setup, pretty much this whole room in a sense. I am working on upgrading this PC. This is not outdated, but it's not as powerful as I would like it to be. And I've noticed some of the drawbacks. So if anybody may happen to be interested in this, let me know, because I may be trying to sell this very, very, very soon. But yeah, so long story short, with this guy, it has an i7 8700K, like 48 gigabytes of RAM. I know it's a very random number, but yeah, I pretty much got the sticks that match that. RTX 2080, just the base 2080. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I love the fact that the graphics card has like 5 ports and has 3 display ports, 1 HDMI and 1 USB-C. So literally these 3 monitors plus that monitor plus the TV are all connected to this. So that is just insane and dope in my eyes. On the top of the PC, let me go ahead and grab the remote for it. We have a little light display thing for when the lights are off, make it look nice and cool in here. A little galaxy right there. Yeah, not much. It was on sale, so I got it. I was like, okay, cool. All right, now moving on to the part that you're probably here for. So, sim rig, let's do it. All right, so starting off from the bottom, you got to show the night mode, Florida, represent Florida, license plate down there. To the right of that, we got my gloves that I would use, and yes, I use gloves on the sim rig, mainly because this material of the wheel, it rubs off on my fingers pretty easy. On top of that, it just gets really hot on my fingers when you're, you know, drifting and the wheels constantly spinning in your hands. That suede, it's just rubbing, and yeah, it's not like my favorite thing in the world. I mean, I've used it without like plenty of times, especially with this wheel. I don't know what material this is, honestly. It's not as suede-y as that one though. But I used that for a couple years without any gloves, and it's totally fine. But this one, I just felt the need that, you know, gloves made it better. And I don't understand people knocking other people for how they like to drive. I mean, hit my door. Let's talk about that instead of worrying about how I drive. You know what I mean? So same with using shoes. Some people like to use shoes, some people don't. I personally like to use shoes because of the way my pedals are set up, and it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can shine the light down there. One sec. I need to make that a little bit easier. This thing's probably gonna fall, but it's okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. So hopefully you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, Fanatec pedals down there. Yeah, it's just not comfortable on my feet, and I would prefer to be comfortable. It's amazing how people online want to tell you how to live your life. Yeah, so let me go ahead and turn on the rig. So everything is pretty much powered to a little smart plug, and all I would have to do here is go to the app, press the sim rig button, and pretty much just watch this guy turn on. Of course, the wheel does its own calibration, the monitors turn on, the little underglow turns on. This did that not too long ago. Little LED strip, make it nice and blue, kind of matches the background of the desktop. Night mode, we out here. Yeah, you can hear the fans turning on. So back to the whole setup now. On the right side we have the shifter, Fanatec. Love this thing. This is one of the greatest additions I've added to this whole setup. Got the emergency stop just in case the whole sim rig moving freaks you out. Sparko / Dustmaster e-brakes / sequential. I mainly use it for e-brake because this is easy to turn into a sequential. This is for the flight sim. It's a simple Logitech throttle. And going to the wheel itself, this is actually the wheel that I used to use for my desk. This is a DX Racer, and as you can see on the bottom here, my ass is sweat sometimes, right? Because it gets hot in here. And when you're drifting with, like, you know, some crazy dudes from ADC or Aussie Drift Co, whatever you want to call it, you get into it, and next thing you know, your ass is sweating. So I got this thing to keep my ass cool, and it has a nice memory foam, makes it more comfortable, all that good stuff. Underneath now, we got the DOF Reality. This is the main guy that's making everything move. This has 3 motors. I want to say this is the H3, either P3 or H3, the one that's for like consumers, not for like the, you know, stores to use. But yeah, so it has the yaw, so the back will, if the car loses traction, the back will, you know, go left and right. It has the tilts, has a forward, back, all that really cool stuff. So that really, you know, adds depth to it. I took a funny video of my mom on using the, what do you call it, the Quest 2, and on a roller coaster simulator, and it was just the funniest thing with this moving. She was freaking out, but she was having a great time. So definitely recommend this thing. This thing has been a lot of fun. Shout out DOF Reality for just helping me get it in a lot sooner than I anticipated. The main wheelbase is the Thrustmaster TSPC Racer. The wheel, aftermarket NRG wheel. As I mentioned before, this was the original that came with it, the Ferrari wheel. Below that, as I mentioned before, is a Fanatec CSL Elites, I want to say they're called. Yeah, CSL Elite pedals. Got the load cell and all that stuff. Don't really need the load cell for drifting that much, in my personal opinion, but I do want to kind of try out, you know, F1 stuff, so it might come in handy very soon. This right here is a little attachment I did to be able to use. They have the sim racing app. Let me go ahead and load that up real quick. Shout out Tinder, add me on Tinder. I'm joking. Oh, there it is. Race Dash, that's what it's called. So if I were to go ahead and start that up, pretty much magnetic little attachment, so then I'm able to see the speed, make it look cool for videos and all that good stuff, and easy to remove, and it's back in my pocket. So to the left and right of that, we got little fans here. These are just basic fans. They don't really, work with the game. I just have them plugged in. So when the sim starts, it's running all the time at the same speed. It doesn't really change. I thought about having it change, but overall this room just gets so hot that I don't even care for that. Especially when I'm using the whole sim, and as you can see under there, there's a little white thing. That's a separate AC unit because of how hot it gets in here. So I try my best to stay cool with the combination of those plus the seat cooler thing. Yeah. Alright, so a triple monitor setup. As I mentioned before, I do have the Quest 2 for VR. However, as I mentioned, I haven't even used it for Assetto Corsa yet. I just mainly use it for jerking off games and stuff like that. I'm joking, but pretty much just like roller coaster sims and just little games here and there. But it gets really hot for me, and the fact that I gotta always take it off to maybe type or to, I don't know, it's just not really feasible for me right now. I'll do a whole review on that later, but right now I definitely prefer the triple monitor setup. I don't get that whole motion sickness from it. That's not the reason. It's just, yeah, I'll explain those reasons soon. Yeah, so I got 3 Dell 27-inch monitors. It's running 2K, 144 hertz. Yeah, it's nice. I don't really have much to say about it because it does the job, and it's not like it's I don't know, it just does the job, and it is what it is. And they're all mounted to the desk that I have behind here, and as I mentioned before, there's a lot more stickers. So let's see if you guys are able to see that. Let me go ahead and pop it up like that, so you can see some of my favorite brands that I just either own the product, or I bought the product, I kept the sticker, and I returned the product. But yeah, so that's the second Vizio right there, and that's the sound bar, and then beneath that is the subwoofer for when I'm not using the headset. But when I am using the headset, this is the Arctic Pro Steel Series. I don't know what you call it. It's nice, it's wireless, it's cool. No wires get in the way of anything, so that's pretty dope. As I mentioned before, with the yoke and that white part back there, the reason why it was white because they only had one white, one black. So a little Dalmatian, but this is the black version, and this is the quick release. So pretty much in the back is just something you pull out, and this whole wheel comes off, and all I need to do is just plug out a couple of wires, and that's it. For the yoke, all I need to do is plug in this USB-C, and that's it. It's so sick, and that's why pretty much I have the yoke connected here. Eventually when I get rudder pedals, once pandemic stops and people stop buying sim rig stuff, I want to get the rudder pedals when they become available. Maybe make like a little slider. That's the idea we have right now, to slide those wheels or those pedals, the racing pedals, back, put the rudders in the place of that, and be able to use it. But of course we got to make sure it doesn't add too much weight to the whole sim rig, because we don't want to cause any problems with the motors and stuff like that. But yeah, right now, I mean, rudders it's an important thing, don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's not going to prevent you from flying, so that's why it's not something that we're in a rush to do. With that, I think we just about covered everything. Got the little light there, so then you can see everything in the video. I want to do some blocking out of the back and the side of the whole monitor, so then once you're in that position, like say here, you can't see the AC or the wall, and just little things that are in the real world. I want to make it so you feel like you're there. And shout out Rickmo Tech and Fanatech. Yo, sponsor your boy, because we out here repping, but he ain't repping back, you know what I mean? I'm joking. But yeah, I really like those companies, and I totally fucks with helping them out as I see fit, because they make dope products, so why not? But yeah, so that is my 2020 room tour. I hope you guys enjoyed, and definitely let me know what your thoughts are. Any suggestions you guys may have, definitely open-minded to that. And have a good one. Take it easy and keep sliding, y'all. Hop on and let me hit your door. How about that? Alright, peace.